Here's something I hear from families almost every week. We know mom needs help, we can see it, but every time we bring it up, she just shuts down. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. And I want to tell you something that might actually help. Pushing harder almost never works. I've been doing this for nearly 10 years, and the families who get through to a resistant parent almost always do one thing differently. They stop trying to win the argument. So in this video, I want to walk you through why parents refuse home care, what actually moves the conversation forward, and what tends to make things worse, because the approach matters more than the words. First, it helps to understand what's really going on. Most parents refuse home care not because they're being stubborn for no reason. It's because they're scared. They're scared of losing independence, scared of having a stranger in their home, scared of what saying yes might mean about their future. Some generally do not even see the problem. The decline has been so gradual that they've adjusted to it without even realizing it. And some are worried about the cost, even if money's not actually the issue. Before you try to solve anything, figure out which of those is driving the resistance. Because the approach that works for someone who is scared of losing independence is completely different from the one that works for someone who's in denial. So what actually works? The first thing is to lead with what you have observed, not what you think they need. So don't use you statements. You want to use I statements. I noticed the refrigerator was empty when I visited. That's different from you are not taking care of yourself. One is a fact, the other is a judgment. Only one of them keeps the conversation open. Second, ask questions before you propose solutions. Find out what they're actually worried about. You might be surprised. The thing they say is the problem is often not the real problem. Third, start smaller than you think. If you propose personal care and they're not ready for that, you'll have hit a wall. But if you propose someone to help with groceries or just come by for company for a few times a week, that is much easier, yes. And once they meet the right caregiver and realize it does not feel like what they were afraid of, things usually start to shift. Fourth, involve their doctor if you can, because a recommendation from their physician carries weight that your opinion, no matter how well-intentioned, simply does not. And fifth, give it time. The first conversation is not supposed to get a yes. The goal is to plant the idea and keep the door open. So a few things that consistently backfire. Do not make it an ultimatum. Pressure hardens resistance. Do not bring the whole family into the room at once. That feels like an ambush. And do not present it as it's already decided. If they feel like they have no say, they will dig in. The goal is to involve them in the decision, not overrule them. And if you've been trying to have this conversation and it's not going anywhere, give us a call. Sometimes talking to someone outside the family who's been through this hundreds of times helps families figure out the right approach. We're not going to push you toward anything. We'll just listen, give you an honest read on what might work for your situation. The number is in the description below. And if this was helpful, we have more videos on this channel covering the signs that it is time for home care, how the costs compare to assisted living, and a lot more. Thanks for watching.